Welcome back to Roots and Roasts, where expert plant care meets time-tested technique. Today, we're diving into how to grow and care for basil indoors properly. Whether you just received one as a gift or you're starting fresh, this guide will give you exactly what you need to help it thrive in your space. Basil, or Ocimum basilicum, is a tender annual herb belonging to the mint family, Lamiaceae. It originates from the warm, humid lowlands of tropical Asia and Central Africa, with the oldest records of cultivation traced to ancient India, over 5,000 years ago. It's long been revered in Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and religious rituals for its healing, protective, and culinary properties. In its native habitat, basil thrives in heat, high humidity, and full sun, conditions that encourage dense foliage and essential oil production. That same vigor can be replicated indoors with a right balance of warmth, light, and airflow. But unlike more drought-tolerant herbs, basil's subtropical origin means it prefers consistent moisture and strong sun, or it quickly declines. Basil's essential oils, which give it that signature aroma and flavor, are most concentrated when the plant receives strong, unfiltered light. This makes lighting one of the most critical factors for indoor success. Light is non-negotiable for basil. To grow compact, lush, and full of flavor, it needs a minimum of 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. The more, the better. If you're growing indoors, a south-facing window is ideal because it receives the strongest and longest-lasting sunlight. If you don't have access to enough natural light, a full-spectrum LED grow light can replicate the intensity and quality of sunlight. Aim for 12 to 14 hours of supplemental light daily to support healthy growth indoors. Signs your basil needs more light. Stems become long and thin, called legginess, leaves pale, or lose their aroma. The entire plant leans heavily toward the light source. Rotate your basil every few days so all sides receive even light. This prevents lopsided growth and helps keep the canopy full. Watering basil correctly is the difference between thriving leaves and root rot. Start with this rule: water only when the top inch of soil is dry. Check by gently pressing your finger into the soil. It should feel slightly dry, not dusty and not soggy. Overwatering is one of the most common causes of basil decline indoors. It reduces oxygen at the root level, leads to fungal issues, and causes leaves to yellow and drop. Maintain moisture balance. Not soaked, not dry. Think damp sponge. Time of day. Morning is best to allow drying before night. Water temperature. Always use room temperature water to avoid root shock. Container choice matters. Terracotta dries faster. Ceramic retains more water. To train your basil to develop a stronger root system, water deeply but less frequently. Avoid quick top-ups. Those just wet the surface and lead to shallow roots. Drainage is not optional for basil. This plant's roots need both moisture and air, and when water pools at the bottom of a pot with no escape route, you're creating the perfect conditions for root rot and fungus. Always use containers with drainage holes. If your favorite decorative pot doesn't have one, use it as a cache pot. Place a grower's pot inside it and remove it when watering. Avoid glass, sealed metal, or concrete pots with no holes. Trap water. Oversized planters lead to overwatering and slow growth by overwhelming young roots. Small teacups or novelty pots, cute but often unventilated or too shallow. Start small. Basil prefers a root zone that fills out a 4 to 6 inch pot before uppotting. Too much space too early equals slow growth and risk of root disease. Think of it this way: drainage isn't just about excess water, it's about oxygen flow. Healthy basil roots need to breathe just as much as they need to drink. Repotting basil isn't just a chore, it's part of helping the plant reset its root system and absorb nutrients efficiently. If your basil is thriving, you'll likely need to repot every 2 to 3 months, especially during the growing season. Signs it's time to repot: roots circling or poking through the drainage holes, water runs straight through the pot without soaking in, yellowing leaves, or stunted growth. despite good light and watering, soil compacted or shrinking away from the container edges. Root-bound basil can't take up nutrients effectively. When that happens, the plant stalls even if you're doing everything right above the soil line. When repotting, gently loosen the root ball and trim any excessively long roots, especially those circling the bottom. This encourages the plant to send out new feeder roots instead of staying root-bound. Feed your basil every 2 to 4 weeks during active growth with a diluted organic fertilizer. Something balanced like 5-5-5 or 10-10-10 is ideal. Always apply at half strength. Too much can burn the roots and leaves. Indoors, basil can attract aphids, spider mites, or whiteflies. If you spot webbing, sticky residue, or tiny pests, treat early. Treatments that work: strong shower rinse under the sink. Pinch basil often, just above a leaf pair, to promote bushy growth and delay flowering. Once it flowers, the flavor drops off and the leaves turn bitter. Don't refrigerate fresh basil. It blackens in the cold. Instead, trim the stems and place them in a glass of water like a bouquet. Change the water daily. Follow these proven steps and your indoor basil will thrive. Full, fragrant, and flavorful. For more expert plant care, subscribe to Roots and Roasts. We're here to help your plants and your confidence grow.